Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I think we're getting started an hour late today. I got the desktop audio playing, I think. Trying that out. Okay. Tell display audio. Okay, I think our audio is good. I think we got background music playing, copyright free, of course, because I'm a little bit, how would we say, paranoid. So today we're just gonna hang out and do some art. I've been doing a set of basically like tarot cards just to kind of give me something to work towards. And then I've also got some of my game I've been working on where it's Fushigi Gana, where basically like it's basically me working on that and then tear it back maybe. But I think today I want to start with just the stars and then we'll see what goes from there. So we're just going to do a new layer here and we're going to call it border. So we're going to go ahead and paste that. And so that way we have just the border on top. And we're going to go ahead and make a new layer on top of that. And this one is, the concept is stars. And from the reference images I've seen and the other versions of this I've seen, it's basically like, typically seen like a woman who's pouring stars. So kind of like that kind of feel. So we're going to start with just basic sketch. And we're going to do like just a woman. And this is just, because this is just a sketch, it's just going to be like a gesture drawing, which is kind of like, just basically like, how do you say? So it's going to be like a stick figure at first. And then as I go on, it'll be more obvious what it is. So we're going to have a streaming flow of hair that's going to go in. And then her bowl's going to be just stars. And I'm basically doing this because I kind of want to do, like, I actually have kind of an idea to do a horror game with the tarot cards. And I think that would be cool. Where, like, maybe your destiny is decided based on the tarot cards. And then also, like, it's something that I can do with a lot of different concepts. So here's basically like she's pouring a pool of stars, and then here's just going to be a bunch of stars. I think I should move that up just a bit, and just to follow the rest of the scheme of the rest of the art, we're going to do it kind of in a Greco-Roman kind of thing, so she'll have very flowing gowns. And I'm going to try to do a face on this one. I actually reworked my last tarot card and gave her a face, and I really like the effect. But it's a little hard to do, so I might have to take longer and rework it a little bit and go back and forth. But I do think that that's kind of the way I want to go with this. So we're probably going to start with like a color palette, and because like I'm thinking galaxy colors, like, so like galaxy, because that's what I think of when I think of stars, like a galaxy. My mom getting his phones, but I'm looking up a concept image right here. So like something like that, kind of like purple, blue with stars, kind of nice. So we're gonna start working on that. I'm gonna have to like move around stuff around so I can look at my reference image of the stars. So I think basically her pool's gonna be basically black. And we're not gonna do details for the first pass. It's just basic colors and figuring out where colors go. So I'm gonna start with a nice blue, because it's gonna be nice dark blues and blacks, very calming colors to use. And it's probably gonna take a while for me to do. So it's coming down, and then like this bit's just gonna be night sky here, just a galaxy. Her background might be white. Not totally sure of that yet. But I think the shoreline should probably be, I don't know if, we might come back and add grass later, but I don't know if I want to start with grass. I think I actually want to do another layer and then do like kind of stones, a stonish feel. So we're going to start with kind of like a mid-tone or a darker tone here. Just kind of give us some ground here. Just going to start out with gray. Just block it out real carefully. And we don't have to worry about the border because we have the border on top, remember? Now, just giving her. Now, probably going to do like a darker black hair here. So, I think I want to start with a darker blue for her hair. Just to kind of give it sky or night feel. And when you do this, you have to kind of think of like what colors go well next to each other. So for right now, I'm trying to stay in a cool palette. So very cool warms and grays and stuff. And up until now, I've basically tried to stay just within this palette. But I don't know if I can really do that much longer. It drives me crazy. So I'm going to start with the palette and then slowly work away from it. So that way the colors and stuff still match with my other art. Okay. So I've got that much done. Now we're going to start, I want to do white for her dress because I think it stands out nicely here. And again, we're just blocking in colors and shapes for right now until we've gotten it a little bit more an idea of what it's supposed to look like. Now, skin tone is always something you kind of want to focus on. And I think I kind of want to go for, maybe because everything else is so blue, maybe go for a peachier tone for this one. So again, just blocking in color, and I'll come back for details later. Just trying to get the composition right. Now, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that for the Greek kind of robe that I'm thinking, I'm kind of thinking like sacrificial maiden, like from Greek mythology, where they were virgins and they had to, I'm gonna put a hand here to kind of give it some balance. There, and then maybe like a foot Should she have a foot here? Maybe. So her foot's like right there. Okay. So we got kind of the basic shape. It's not perfect yet, but we're still working on it. So we're gonna go ahead, and I think maybe like a brown bowl maybe here might work okay. So we're gonna add a brown bowl. Just go around the bowl. Okay. Now I think her face is a little bit awkward, so we're gonna go ahead and go back and work on that a little bit and try to make the shape a little bit better. I think we've got most of the color scheme down. I don't know what to do with the background. We're gonna think about it for a second while working on her hair. A green might work. Looks a little bit too, I should give her a double chin there. That's not what I wanted. Now, do I want to give her bangs? Like that. And then I'm thinking her hair here is a little bit much. It's a little bit too big here. Might be a little bit too much, but. So what we're doing here is we're just making the shapes look super smooth. Okay. So I think that looks decent. Okay. So I'm trying to decide here if I want this to be, I think I want that to be hair there. Just hair. Now we're gonna play with some different colors for the background. I could do green, but that looks a little bit much. I don't know if I really want to do blue because that seems like that's way too much blue now. I could do like a sunset concept where it's like a sunset behind her. That might be pretty. We'll try to do that. So we're gonna do like a really light pink here, and we'll do like a sunset behind her, and that makes sense with the concept of stars. So because we're adding more colors, we're going to add another layer, and then I'll slowly keep on adding more layers as we go on. But while we're here, we might want to go ahead and just start the sunset. So kind of what we're going to do here is just almost a gradient type feel, probably. So give me 1 second. I am moving stuff around so I can see my sunset reference. Okay. So what we're kind of going to do, so we're going to go for an orange here, I think. So we're going to go on another layer. And there are different ways we could do this, but I think the way that makes most sense is to do here, and then to basically tone it down quite a good bit. Now, I want the sun to be on this side of her. So we're going to start with just like kind of and go slightly stronger orange here. Now, it's slowly going to work its way to blue. So we're going to do like that, where it's basically working its way to blue. Kind of like that. want to go for a slightly darker blue next, just to kind of give it. So that's starting to give it a little bit of, we can probably try a smudge tool. I think that's what that is, right? That's a paint bucket tool. Okay, here's the smudge tool. So we're going to use this to kind of speed things up a bit, because I don't really have 10 hours to. So what it's basically going to do is it's going to take this and give it some randomness here without me having to go in and choose every single pixel. Okay, so that's starting to look like a sunset. We're going to go ahead and add a new layer here and add some clouds and the actual sun itself. Now the way that you do the sun, you typically do like a white blob here. Yeah. Now we're going to take a super saturated yellow. Like, I want it to be so saturated it's just insane. But we're not going to do much of it. It's just going to be like an outline of the white dot. So we're going to give it, and that's one way to do a sunset. Like, there are a couple other ways. Like, you could do like, one I kind of like doing is doing like a red gradient one, but I don't really think that fits with this concept here. So we're going to go ahead, smooth it out a bit. Now if you go out, it looks like a sun. I think it may be slightly too big though for what I'm thinking here. And actually, I'm going to delete it. And what we're going to do, I think this is an outline, right, like that. So that way we get a perfect sun. And again, straight yellow. Okay, we're going to take the paint bucket tool and we're going to fill. So that way you can tell it's the sun. And that does look a little bit more like a sunlight. So we're going to continue with the sunset, I should say. And we're going to add some clouds here, very strategically. Now, the way we're going to do that is we're just going to add a couple of shapes. And I'm thinking about composition as much as I'm thinking about the way actual clouds look. So I'm just doing the shadow first, and then I'm going to highlight it in some whites and some other colors. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a cloud here, just so, because it seems to me like this arm here is actually blending in too much with the sunset because of the colors are too similar. So I'm going to add a cloud here so that I basically can make that a little less obvious. Okay. That's working somewhat. But we're going to work on the clouds a little bit more, just to kind of give it a sunset feel. Maybe another little cloud here. Okay. Now what we're kind of going to do is we're going to blend these together. So I've got my color picker here, and I'm going to go slightly more towards the white, give it like a slight blending, and then maybe this cloud needs some shadow too, probably. So we got that going. Now again, I'm just going to move this a little bit further so it's a little bit closer to the white. Slowly work on making those clouds look fluffy. started out too dark. But we may go back and fix that in a second. Now, okay. I think I missed a color. Okay, so we've got the basics of our clouds starting to look somewhat okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to add another layer to the clouds. So we're going to add another layer real quick, and we're going to go and add a second layer here. And slowly just blend those back in. With the cloud. Okay, now we're going to go add some more highlights because I think it needs some bit right here. Give it like a bump here so it looks like a cumulonimbus, I think they're called. Now we're going to add some, like I said, I think I went a little bit too heavy-handed with the shadows in the beginning, so I'm going to go back and fix that a little bit. Now here is where I'm going to pick a color that's a little closer and then just kind of undo some of the shading I did by picking like a slightly, and maybe making it slightly softer there. Okay, now we gotta add a second layer to this cloud here, and maybe like a little bit of a more darkness to that side. Okay, now we're gonna add a second layer to this cloud here. Again. Now that's looking somewhat like a cloud. I think I want to add another one here. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. We got some nice clouds going. Okay. So I kind of want to start messing with the different other elements in the picture. Like I said, I do want her to be much paler because she's basically like the concept of the moon or the stars. So she should have a very fair complexion, I think. Basically we're going to work on her face because that's one of the fun things to work on, but it takes me a while because it's pixels. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I think that almost makes her look too dead, doesn't it? Maybe that brown instead. Now, let's try to do her eyes, which is always the hardest part of these things. Maybe like a lowered eyelashes might be okay. Like that maybe. And then we're gonna do like a darker brown. Maybe just one. Now here I think what we can do is we can kind of pick like, maybe not, but like a really light pink here to kind of give her some shading on the eyelashes, brows, or the eyelashes. I can't talk. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, start giving her some eyebrows. Now, those are a little bit off, I think. this is going to take a while just to give her a face, because it's okay. So what we're doing here, so we're just kind of adding and subtracting over and over again till we get the face. And again, it's not from close up, it's from far away. Now let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add maybe a little bit more brownness to her face. I'm trying to get like, that might be a little bit too strong there. Okay, so be like right there. Now let's see here. We're going to take this color here and we're going to go much lighter, I think. Slowly give her maybe a clavicle. Now let's see here. That looks a little bit too literal, but we might go with it for now. Maybe go with a slightly darker upper lip, and like, I think that's way too pink right there. Now, do I want the bottom lip or no? I kind of need it, but it looks... We'll go with it for now. Figure it out later. Okay. So I'm going to take pixel here. Slowly start working right here so it looks a little bit less wonky. Okay, there we go. Okay. I don't like this bit here. I feel like it almost looks like a beard, maybe. I don't want to give her a beard. So we're going to try to go for maybe a wider color. It might make that look a little bit less. I love this stuff, but at the same time it makes me so frustrated because I'm like, I want a smooth curve, but I can't have one. Okay. Maybe I'll do like right here, and then it feels a little bit like this chin's a little bit too high right there. Okay. I'm feeling like that's starting to look like something. I might just took you on a 30-minute walk, honey. So, let's see here. Now here, her face doesn't look perfect yet, but I might leave it for the second and come back to it while I think about it. So we're gonna start adding, I think her hair is gonna be actually purple here. So we're gonna add strands and figure out like where her hair is gonna be. And then maybe that'll help us figure out the face a little bit better. So we got that bit. Now we're going to go on to the next strand here. Oh yeah, her face is bothering me, but this means I'll come back to it later. Okay, so we're going to do the next layer here. Now we're going to do the outer part here. Okay. So, it's starting to look like something. Your head might be a bit too big. Now, because I've got so much blue, I'm going to do the clothing in gray tones here. And we're gonna start with like, I'm probably gonna have to add more grays here because from experience, basically a lot of times the grays itself can lend itself to being too overblown. So we're just gonna go in real quietly and just add some grays. Now, let's see. Gonna add the other side there. Now she's starting to look a little bit, I kind of had this concept of her having some sort of headband. I'm not sure if I want to add it in, but I think maybe like a Greek headband where it's green and it's got leaves on it might be kind of cool. So we're gonna add a Greek headband here. And then maybe add some like highlights to it. That doesn't look right. We'll add that highlight instead. Okay. Now, thinking the grays in the dress should start to add a little bit flowingness now. I am thinking of a particular type of Greek dress actually here, which that was going to add. I didn't even need to add that cloud there because it's going to have that there anyway. Now we're going to add like a little bit of white here just to kind of highlight it a bit. Now, oh, excuse me, sorry, I had a burp. Thinking like right here. It's our chest, so we're kind of like just adding this light hint of chest there. Nothing too definite. Maybe back off on that hard tone there. And then I think I actually want to make her dress a little bit more low cut there. Be like that. Now, these kind of dressed typically traditionally are held up by a little pin here. It's actually like one piece of cloth that's wrapped in a particular way that makes it look like it's multiple pieces of cloth, but it's not really sewn. It's just, we might have to get rid of that bit right there. Okay, so I think this bit here is gonna have to come up a bit. somehow. Let's see. You could try doing that for her again. But, you know. And her lip looks so big, I guess, is what the word I'd say was. Let's try to do it the other way. Wear a Cupid's bow. And then maybe this is up here. Maybe that'll look less strange. Looks like she's frowning now. Maybe we'll just give her a bigger bottom lip. And then maybe we need like some sort of light highlight on it. That's slightly better. Okay. Maybe what we can do here is basically make it slightly lighter here. And then maybe like slightly darker in some bits. Give her like winged eyeliner. Now for her ears. Let's go ahead and add that bit there, and then maybe like, no, I think that bit's a little too dark, so we're gonna add some nice, I think that's looking a little bit better. I still want to bring this up. Maybe we'll just go for it. Maybe I always wouldn't do it. Now we're going to go ahead, add some shading here, and we're going to give, we're not really going to go all the way out, but we are going to add like the idea of a clavicle here. And then like the idea of a clavicle here. And of course, you know, we're going to add some shading to it and a couple of particular parts. So from far away, it does look more defined. No, I think I went a little bit too dark there. So now, that's looking decent. Okay, now I'm looking at her hair again. I think I want to maybe refine the shape again somehow. So give her like a little bit more poof, I guess is what I would call it. And I guess we're gonna go for the bun again. I do the bun every single time, like the just snooky bump. I don't know why, I think it looks really good on this type of hairstyle and this type of dress and stuff. Snooky Greg? I don't know. I didn't watch the show. Okay, so I think maybe I did her body maybe a bit too small. So we're gonna go here and just basically give her body surgery, I guess I would say. Now we're gonna unlock that and edit, copy, merge, give it a new layer, edit, paste. Now we're gonna make her body bigger. Just until we think the proportions look right. I think that looks probably right. So we're gonna go ahead and add a new layer on top of that. And reshow our border so that way we can see the final result there. Okay. So I did this in gray when I started, and now that I've done some of the color and stuff, I think we're probably going to have to do it in brown with maybe some green highlights or something. So we're going to go ahead and do this in brown instead. Probably add some rock details at some point. Okay. Yeah, starting to look better. Okay. Now I want to give her a bit of like, there's some background in back here and some background in the back here. So we kind of give her something to stand on because it looks like she's kind of floating right now. But that's not what we want. We want her to look like she's like she could actually be sitting on this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and add that bit to it. Now, this color is a little bit too dark. So we're gonna add a little bit of shiny here. Just a little bit of smoothing here so it's not quite so dark, I would say. Okay. So last white one I went too dark too quickly, and it made it a little bit too overemphasized. Okay. It feels to me like when we first did her arm looks a bit out of where I want it to go. So we're actually going to make the arm a bit bigger here. And because that's bigger, I want to carve that out a bit with the fabric here. So that looks more in proportion there. So there we go. Okay, thinking maybe we'll start working on the stars and the bowl next, because it's kind of supposed to be like a galaxy. I can kind of see it in my head, but not completely. So we're gonna start with just black here. Just give it like a nice large bit of black. Black as it'll go. Because this stuff is so busy up here, we have to make it more obvious what we're talking about. Because this card is so small, I can't really write any text on it. Okay. So there goes that bit. Now we're going to add some like black blobs here. So it's kind of like bleeding into the, maybe add some there. She, of course, has her bowl full of stars. Okay, just adding some jagged bits. There we go. I think that's about the kind of feel I want, so it looks like water but not. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add like some blue bits to it, or maybe we're gonna add some purple bits to it. I'm not sure. Maybe some purple bits instead. Yeah, I think the purple bits work okay. It kind of matches her hair, so I'll go with the purple. Okay, so we're gonna add, might as well go ahead and start adding the stars. So we're gonna add a couple of like bigger stars and smaller stars. Oh, my cat just hit my keyboard again. Go. Yeah, so we're gonna add as many stars as we can, because that's the concept. It's a little hard to do in pixels because I can't draw exactly what I want. As long as I don't draw a swastika, I think we'll be okay. No, I don't like that one at all. Okay. So we're gonna add some nice stars here. I think we'll add, I like that star well enough, we'll do another one like it. Maybe we could do like that. Yeah, that reads star to me. And then like a little sparkle here and there. That almost is a snowflake now, but I think that's okay. There we go. Be like that. So we're gonna add some stars into the bowl from where she's flowing. She's like basically pouring it. Okay, and then maybe some like stars coming down from the pool here. I think we need another big star here. Try not to do any Jesus stars because that's just weird. Maybe do some like a slight cluster here. And maybe one here. Okay. Now we're going to start adding some detail to the outside of the black. I guess she's pouring stars. Basically what she's doing. So we're going to add a little bit of like a transition here between the black and the blue. And we're going to do purple at first, and then we might add some other colors. I'm thinking like galaxy colors, basically. Like, I know that was really popular a while back, but so basically we're just making a galaxy in water. We're trying to, at least. Okay, I think that's starting to look okay. Might want to add some pinks in here maybe in a second. Okay, so maybe add some darker blues and kind of like feather it out a bit. So it's like a little bit more soft around the edges, which is what we want. Okay. So we're going to add a little bit of outline to the pouring here. I think we probably have to start going in the bowl to make it look more cohesive here. Yeah, so that's working okay. That works okay. Just gonna slowly add a little bit of galaxy colors there. Now we're gonna add, again, we're just kind of feathering it out towards the edges. So looks more, I'm kind of thinking like, it almost looks like an oil spill to me. It's kind of what I'm looking like, but with like pretty stars in it instead of like oil. So we're gonna add, it's kind of hard to add any things in there, but I'm thinking that's starting to read star, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now we're gonna outline the outside of the puddle in like white here just to kind of make it stand out a bit more, because it's supposed to be the focus. Hi Itsuki, how yous going? You have a good day? Did you get your laundry done? Did you hear me, Itsuki? Okay. As long as you can hear me. I think there's a lag. So I'm basically just finishing shading some of these parts. This is the Star Tarot card. So typically it's like a girl just pouring stars. So that's basically what I'm trying to kind of like represent here. And I decided to go with galaxy colors because I think they're very pretty. They're kind of out of fashion, I guess, again, but so like purples and pinks and blues. So it's a galaxy instead of like just one star. And I'm kind of trying to finish up a little bit of a couple of other projects too. And I think I've decided I want to do like a horror game with these, which I think will be pretty fun to do. And in addition to like an app, because basically like apparently tarot card apps rake in the money. I don't know why, but they do. Like I went to go download for fun, and it was like, oh yeah, $19 a month, and I'm like, oh my gosh, $19 a month? What? So we're doing this both for funsies and to like maybe pull in a little ad revenue. It'd be great. So I'm gonna make like a free app with just an ad on it and do these cards on it. That's the plan anyway. We'll see if we get that far. We're on card 4 now, I think. Now I want to start doing a little bit of shading to the hair, maybe in some pinks. Because again, I'm going for like... And if you notice, the sun is behind her, so we're going to have to keep that in mind a little bit. I have to fudge it out a little bit so I can actually... I'm really bad at shading, to be honest with you, but I try. It's usually like I have a little bit of dyslexia, so I have problems telling my right from my left. So then you mix that with me trying to figure out which way the sun's coming from. Thank you! I think I'm improving, so that's good. Actually, I redid the Empress a little bit, so we're getting better. It's just taking a while. I think we're gonna go for a little bit darker shade here. Probably like that, because I can't pick color every single time or else she'll have different shades for like her arms and her face and all this other stuff, and that wouldn't be good. This is what I'm going for, but I'm not going for that right now. Hands are hard. Maybe like right there. I think like right there, maybe. Okay, and then we're gonna go back. I should probably have zoomed that out so y'all can see it at full speed here. So we're adding this bit here. Gonna make some nice grays here. Add a little bit of her dress. Yeah? You should probably go eat lunch. I'm sorry, breakfast. The time difference always gets me. Go eat breakfast, Itsuki. I'll talk to you on Instagram later, okay? Have a good day. So, folds here are some of my favorite things to draw, because I think I like things that are difficult, because I don't know, I just do. And it's a character flaw, but one that I don't mind having, so I just keep it. Okay, so I think we're getting the dress down pretty good. I think we ought to add some darker tones to the hair there. So it looks a little bit less... It looks kind of fake now, I think. Add some white here. So her sleeve looks like it's coming out more, which it should be actually, if it's this kind of dress I'm thinking of. Okay. I think that's looking okay. It looks like her wrist is a little bit too much in, so we're gonna go ahead and fix that a bit. Now here's the difficulty here. Transition between arm and hand is a little bit off here. So I think I like it like that though. We're just gonna keep it there. So we're gonna go a little bit lighter here, I think. Give her a little bit, but not too light. Just give her some highlights here. Now we're gonna have to do the same on the arm here. Again, like I say, I'm not horribly great at highlights and shading because I kind of just can't figure it out. Sometimes I get dizzy because I can't figure out which way it's coming from. It's not half as bad as that Excel sheet I had to read today, though. I wanted to redesign the Excel sheet, but my boss really didn't. I probably should have. It's horribly done, but it was when I first started the company, like 3 or 4 years ago. So, not much I can do about it. I just like complain about it. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit more darkness here to kind of give it some shade. Now we got, I think that's getting okay. I want to emphasize this pour spout here and kind of give it maybe a little bit more emphasis there. Be like a little bit of, not completely, but a slight smattering of pink at the edges to kind of give it more of that galaxy feel I was talking about. That was real popular for a while. Maybe it was this might be even unicorn. I don't know the difference. But they're colors that kind of look good together. Even though they don't seem like they should. This might be unicorn. I don't know. It's something. Okay. So I think like a little bit of like rounding on the edges for the galaxy color might make it look kind of cool. Okay, I think that's looking okay. Now we're going to add some more of the blue. And we're going to kind of intersperse it in the black a bit here, because I say I'm trying to like make it more rounded. Now we're going to add actually some of the light blue here, just a smattering. Be even more careful with this one than the other ones. Okay, I think that probably starting to look decent. Okay, now this bit here in the back is bothering me, and then I think she needs a little bit of texture in her ground, and she probably needs a little bit more work on her hair. Okay, we actually may want to, this is too red here for me. I think that'll be okay though. Okay. So like I said, I'm trying to stick with this palette, but for a starting point, and then basically jumping off of it after I get enough of the colors down. And I'm hoping that that'll make my art like stick together better. Okay, so we're gonna go, how long has this stream been going on now? Looks like it's been about an hour. I'd like to probably stay another hour if I can. We'll try for another hour. Okay, so we're just basically gonna add some rocks here. Now here we go. Okay. Now we're gonna add like some super light tans here. That's that color. I mean, surely pink won't look good there, right? Well, I mean, it is a sunset. There are a bunch of pinks and oranges in there, so maybe we should add some like little pink and maybe like gold highlights there and there. We're gonna of course add some like black here, but not too much because I don't want to go overboard. Okay, so we're gonna go to the other side now. We're gonna add some yellow here. Maybe some very light pink. Yeah. It's good, right? I like it. Okay. Now, here's where we're just kind of adding things. I've got to add some more stuff to her purple hair, I think, like right here. She needs some shading. Now right here. Should have some shading there. But she does, of course, need some highlights too. Maybe like a little bit of pink on her cheeks. Does that look too much? Maybe. Maybe if I like blend it in a bit better. I think that's probably okay. We'll keep that there. Now this bit here probably needs to be a wee bit lighter. Maybe I get rid of that ear. Like, I think she's fine probably right there. Okay. Now we're gonna have to add some more shading to her hand here. No, it doesn't work at all, does it? We're gonna take the darkest brown I have here and we're gonna go a smidgen lighter and just start trying our best. I think that's maybe a bit too dark even still. Yeah. Nope. Okay. Seems to me like it's a little bit too light, maybe? Maybe. Now. Let's see here. We're gonna add that color there. Some nice black there. Now we're gonna go ahead and like slowly add some shading there. There we go. I think like right about there. Now here, she's against the clouds and it's a little bit harder to see. So we're gonna just add a couple of pixels here to kind of make it more obvious what's going on there. Maybe. Okay, then we're gonna go on this layer here and we're gonna add some darker blues here. I don't think that's gonna work though, is it? Okay. So what we're doing here is we're adding some darker blues to this sunset here. Nothing crazy. Just mostly because we're gonna do just a little bit of a jumble here. don't like that. That's too, I think like that, but like smaller. So we're just kind of messing it up there, but intentionally so. So that way I don't have to do it manually. Yeah. Yeah, because manually is not good, right? Okay. Okay, this is about the time where I start worrying that I might be doing overboard. We're gonna go ahead and save it real quick. And we're gonna move on to something else for a little bit. Because if I keep on going on it, I might go overboard. There's a couple of different things I could work on here. I could work on my other game. I think I might want to work on my back of my tarot though, because I think I'm on kind of a roll. So we're gonna add a new background from layer. Oh, new layer, new background from layer, and then I guess, I haven't decided. I can either go with the blue one concept, like a dark blue here, or I could go with the red. I really like the blue. We're gonna do like a sun and a moon concept, I think. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with the moon. So we'll start with a silver here. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. So it's a fairly common theme, like just the sun and the moon together. So we're just gonna do that because it's not very inspired, but it's pretty classic. So we're gonna go with the sun and the moon theme. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the moon. I think Card Captor Score did like something somewhat similar. We're gonna try to make sure that we don't do something that goes too close to that. So, and then maybe like a bit taller there. There we go. There we go. Trying to make it as round as possible. Which is kind of a tall concept, but we're gonna try it anyway. Okay, so we're gonna give him a nose. The mouth, because that's kind of what we're going for here. Oh, it's just a silhouette for now. We'll add some more details in a second. Okay, so we're gonna go for like an eye here. Now, the eyebrows. Now we're gonna outline the entire moon. We'll probably have to go back over this a couple of times because I want it to look pretty good. In some respects, it's probably the most important part of the tarot card, the back. That's definitely the part you see the most. Okay. Let's try some Mozart or something. Okay, we got some classical music going now. Typically I listen to like, well, not classical, so. Okay. I don't know if I like that one. Let's try another one. Why are they all in minor chords? There we go. Mozart was the man. Moon Gang? What's that? What's a Moon Gang? Moon Gang. Hi. Oh, okay. What's that one from? I've never seen that one. It's not Safe Moon, is it? Because if it's Safe Moon, oh. No. What's that meme from? I've never seen that meme. Moon Gang. About 5'6". At one point in time, I told my driving instructor I didn't know. So for a while, my driver's license said I was 4 feet. So that was fun. I think they were pulling a prank on me. Okay, I gotcha. I think that's it for the moon. I'm going to draw a sun next. This is actually the back of a tarot card. So I'm just doing like the tired old trope of like a moon and a sun and some stars. I don't think it's round enough there for me. How tall are you anyway? Like, are you asking me, or how tall are you? Huh. I think we're gonna do. I think typically the sun's closed eyes too, right? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do like a sun in here. Get that in there somehow. Maybe like that. Now we have to add like some rays. Then like on the opposite way, on the top. Oh, excuse me. I have to be kind of careful to make sure it doesn't look like a flower though. See, I want it on the other side. This will go the other way. And then like a smaller one here. And a smaller one here. And the same on the other side. Now getting the proportions is going to be kind of tricky here, I think. And then we're going to have like a star here. a star here, a star here, and a star there. So I think that'll look okay. Oh, draw another one, both sides. Something like that. I think I left. I was having fun. Now, I think that's actually done pretty good there. Okay. That's working. Okay. I think that'll work there. Now, the thing is, I want this to kind of be even and to go the same distance both ways. Okay. I think that's starting to look like something I can deal with. I think this maybe has to go a bit sharper there. Maybe these as well. And then it may be that what I really want to do is make it a little bit more center. So I'm going to select the entire thing here. Move it down just a wee bit. And then I'm going to take, yeah, that looks good, okay. And then I'm going to take the face and move it up a bit so it's centered more in the moon. So I think that needs a bit more work, but I think that's about right. Let's see, let's go back to our stars for a little bit. You know what, I think she's probably done for the day. We've saved it. We're going to go ahead and export it real quick for Twitter. Which, I love that button. Whoever the hell thought of that button, that's just a genius. Okay. So I'm going to do stars here and just tweet it real quick. Up. And, yeah. To English. Okay, we tweeted that. We might go back and redo it again later, but I think for right now we're probably pretty good. I think this is starting to look pretty good, but I think I'm probably getting about ready to log off. It's been about an hour and a half now. So, thank you for watching, and I hope y'all have a good night. I have to wait a little bit afterwards because I'm such a lag. Okay,